All right, everybody, we are recording for this webinar for Become a Published Author in 126 Days. And this is a virtual tour of CreateSpace, our self-publishing platform. And remember that this is not the only publishing platform out there, but it is, from my experience, one of the easiest, if not the easiest to use, because as you'll see, it will walk you literally step by step by step of what you need to do next in the writing and publishing process to upload your final manuscript into the CreateSpace platform, and then it goes live on Amazon. So it's laid out for you, and never, ever in the history of publishing books has it been more simple than it is now with technology. Back in the day, 70s, 60s, 80s, or whenever, you used to have to write a manuscript, sell it to a big publishing house, and they would have to approve it or reject it. And then they would pay you a lump sum up front, and then you would get a small royalty for each book that would sell after that. And so basically, your book could never get published unless it was accepted and purchased by a big publishing house. But enter a program like CreateSpace. CreateSpace is a self-publishing platform that allows you to take control of when you would like to get published. And it's really as simple as, if you know how to write in a Microsoft Word document or a Mac Pages document, if you know how to turn that document into a PDF, and if you know how to upload a PDF into the internet, you know how to self-publish a book. And really, guys, I'm not fooling around with you. It's that simple. Now, I don't want to, put icing on the cake already and say you got this made, because the hard part is actually writing your book. That's the challenging part. And what I love about what Paula was just talking about with her and Sarah is that they've taken, some big action over the last few weeks in getting their book moving forward. And they started to realize that, hey, maybe we need kind of an accountability schedule. So ladies, are you able to chat a little bit more about that?
Here we go. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear something now.
Hello? Oh, wait. Hold on.
We hear you.
Us?
Yep, we hear you.
Wait. Are we on?
You are on.
We are fairly having some technical issues. Okay, wait. Are we good?
You've been good.
Okay. Word. Okay, sorry. We're just. Hi, George. We're hairdressers.
Hello. It's all good. I'm inspired by what you guys are doing, because you're doing the things that need to get done for your book to get published, which is being fluid, being flexible, and doing what's required. So can you tell us more about what's been going well for you, and maybe this new shift into an accountability structure that you're going to put in place?
Yeah, I think one of the best things that Sarah and I did, this is my first time authoring at all, besides like my diary posts when I was a teenager. Mm-hmm. But I think for us, one of the things that was really great is that we started off by going away for a couple of days and just doing like a big brain dump. I think we talked about that last week. And just by kind of taking that time to check out and go away, it created, I guess, fuel. Yeah, it really like lit a fire. So we were like, okay, we've now taken, because time for us, like everybody, it's very valuable. So to take 2 days completely and go away was really huge for us. And then now it's just about maintaining that momentum that we've created. So we found ourselves fall off the horse a little bit with getting back into our lives and not creating time and space to write. Right, because we all, like everybody, we spend a lot of time on other people's schedules. So like Sarah has children, we both have husbands, like, we try to take time for self-care, we have our guests in the salon. So it really, as much as we are creative people, we've realized the importance of creating like a schedule. And accountability, I think for some people, is just like a check-in and saying like, oh, hey, how's it going? But for us, it's like, no, we have to put a structure around that accountability. Not necessarily like as far as delivering a certain number of pages or words or anything, but just making sure that we're actually putting time into it, because it is valuable to both of us.
It is. Beautiful. Perfectly said. And it's the energy and time that you spend on it, it starts to expand. And as it starts to expand, it gains a momentum of its own. And over the course of time, that's what we're looking for, is that momentum to where we feel unstoppable. We say, oh man, I haven't written today. I got to make that time. And it's almost like it's more uncomfortable not to write than it is to write. And so that's the magical space that if you step into, your book is going to be published pretty dang quick. So cool. Thanks for sharing, ladies. And keep up the good work too. So anybody else want to share what you're celebrating? What's working for you? What's going well for you? Patricia, anything there?
No, not at the moment. I'm having a little bit of a challenge. Oh, there you are. Not at the moment, no. I'm afraid not. But I am going to the mountains next week for an entire week to do nothing but write, hopefully.
Yay!
Awesome. Awesome. Good deal. Okay, I'm going to mute you back, and you can unmute you if you feel like it.
Okay.
All right, guys. So that's what it takes. You know, maybe unplugging yourself from your day-to-day environment and put yourself in an environment that really nurtures that creative writing process, just like the ladies have here on this call. And what you want to do now, if you can, is go to createspace.com. Go to createspace.com. And if you can't, I'm going to walk you through it. You can just watch my screen. And if you haven't, go to createspace.com and create your account. If you haven't, it's free, guys. It's free. You could get away with publishing your book without spending a dime on the publishing process. You really could do that. Where you'll probably spend an additional investment is through the editing process, I would say. Because if you're not, you know, a spelling bee champ and a grammatarian or whatever the hell it is, then you're probably going to want to bring in a professional to have a look at your manuscript to say, hey, is this readable? Or, you know, did you spell everything right? And at the very least, make sure that everything is kind of, it flows in a way and it's readable, and the English or whatever language that you're using is to your liking. Now, there's no right or wrong way or perfect way to do it. You just got to make sure that it's readable for the reader. So when you go to createspace.com, I'm going to just log into my account here, and I'm going to show you step by step what you're going to see. And can everybody see my screen? Just want to make sure. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. All right, so let's see here. This is your dashboard, your members dashboard. This is what you're first going to see when you sign into your CreateSpace account. All right, and it'll show any royalty balance. So this is, you know, the money that is going to be eventually dumped into my account. And so if you sell a ton of books, that number is going to be really big. Most of the books I sell are at my speaking engagements. The cool thing about using CreateSpace is, let's say I want to order copies of Maximum Performance and Productivity. This is my third book. I click order copies, and each copy I purchase in the back end for $2.15. Now, if you play the math on that and you sell your book for $20, you're getting a huge return. There's a huge profit margin on books when you sell them in person like this. And so that's been my whole strategy. So recently I was hired by a big pharmaceutical company to go talk to them about change and adaptation and all of that. And after they paid me my speaking fee, I asked them if I was able to sell books after the event. And they said, no, you're not able to do that, but why don't we just purchase a copy for everybody who's going to be attending? I was like, sure. She said, can you get us a group discount? I was like, well, usually it sells for $20, but I'm willing to do $15 per book. So, you know, I think 65 different people purchased a book for a book order of like $1,000, which was pretty cool. So there's a great margin on books. And if you sell them at your speaking engagements or live events or whatever it is that you do, that's one strategy you can use to make sure that you sell books. So hopefully that inspires you. Oops, kick me off. Hopefully that inspires you a little bit to think about how you can sell your books, you know, for Sarah and Paula Maybe you guys will have copies at the salon that you can sell directly to people for 20 bucks a copy. And, over the course of time, you start making a lot of money on these books. So here's where you start the membership dashboard or the members dashboard. And you can see there's a lot of stuff here. These are all the titles that I've created. So I've got books in motion that I'm currently writing. And so I'm going to show you step by step from the beginning how to do it. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to click Add New Title. And if at any point during this webinar you want to ask me a question, feel free to do that. So let's say this is just going to be a test project that I'll delete a little bit later. But tell us the name of your project. So I'm just going to write BPA126, I don't know, 2016 as the title. So that'll be the title of your book. And remember, guys, through all of this, it's all fluid. Like, you can change all of this. So don't get stuck in the idea that every time you hit get started or enter that you're locked in, because you're not. All right. So you'll click paperback. And here are two options to choose from. You can use a guided step-by-step process with help along the way, or you can use an expert. And that's a streamlined single-page experience for those familiar with the process. I recommend going with guided because it's easy. It's simple. So let me see. You can change your title. What are you telling me here? Your project's name cannot be all caps. Okay, thank you. BPA126, lower caps. So you click Get Started, and then it's going to take you to this page. So what you're seeing over here to the left, as you see my mouse kind of scroll up and down here, this is the step-by-step process that you guys are going to go through. So the first chunk is setup. So they're going to ask me for title information, the ISBN, the interior of the book, the cover, the complete setup, and all of that. And then after that, you're going to go through a review process. So the minute you get all of this done and you upload your cover, you upload your interior manuscript, you will then go through a file review, and then you'll proof your book. And there's going to be two ways that you can proof your book. You can proof it through a PDF that they're going to send you, or you can order a physical copy and you can buy it for the $2.15 or whatever it ends up being, depending on how large your book is and whether you have color inside or not. So yeah, if you have color inside of your book, obviously that's going to increase the price of the book when you purchase it. So all those things make a difference. And I highly recommend getting a physical proof copy, because that's a magical day. When that day happens and you're holding your proof copy in your hands, that's a magical day. And it will inspire you to continue moving through the process. And then you get to choose your distribution options. Which channels do you want to distribute it to? What's your pricing going to be? What's your cover finish look like? What's the description? Publish it on Kindle. So not only are you on Amazon when you use this program, but you're also on Kindle, so that people can read it through Kindle if they like it. And then you can go through some sales and marketing stuff. All right. So what you're seeing right here, guys, is the step-by-step process of what you'll go through. And every time you finish one of these small steps, it'll give it a little check mark by it. So let's come into the title. So BPA 126 2016, anything with an asterisk here is what they're going to need from you. And if you don't have it, if it doesn't have an asterisk, then you don't need to put anything there. So subtitle, irrelevant, primary author, just your first name or whatever name you're using. You can use your middle name, all of that, whatever it is that is best for you. Add contributors, so authored by, authored with, screenplay by. So all of these options are here. I think written by is probably down here somewhere, but I just leave it authored by, because you're not going to see this. And again, it doesn't have an asterisk, so it's not even that important. Is this book part of a series? Edition number, language, English, publication date, doesn't matter. See, I mean, just these two bits of information, really, these 3 bits is all they needed. So I will click Save and Continue, and the minute that I do, title information now has a checkbox. So everything that you finish, check complete. So it's a checklist. Now, your ISBN number is the number that is going to be associated to the book. It's kind of like a social security number for a book. And you can get a free one through CreateSpace. All right. And so read all these options here. This is the option I go with every single time, free create space ISBN. So let's say, for example, you choose this ISBN number. And later, you want to sell your book to a big publishing house for a big paycheck. They would just simply take your manuscript, take it out of this ISBN, and plug it into one of their ISBN numbers so that they own the content. But I recommend going with this one, the free create space ISBN, because it's easy and it's all that you really need. So they randomly assign it for you. And there it is. There's my ISBN number, my social security number for my book, basically. So locked. It cannot be changed in this system, all right? But it can be changed outside of this. So then I hit continue. Actually, I'm going to copy and paste this to show you where you could use it. So click continue, and then boom, got another checkbox over there. So now you're looking at the interior, and this is where you're going to spend most of your time. What you're going to want to do is you want to figure out, how big do I want my book to be? Is it a 6x9 book, which has been the size that I've used every single time? 5x8. These are, so most popular trim sizes. These ones up here are your most popular. So it's your book, though. It's art, so it doesn't have to be the popular trim sizes. It can be these other industry standards. You just got to determine what's going to work best for you, and don't mind fuck yourself over which size to choose from. All right? Don't nitpick at what size. Just choose and go. Create and go. Create and go. Don't hold yourself back trying to figure out, do I want a 1/2 inch less over here and a 1/2 inch less over here? Just choose and create, guys. Just keep going. You can change it in the future. So let's say I want a 6x9. And now the cool thing about this is that you can download a Word template. And this could be the document that you use to write on if you choose to. So I recommend clicking a formatted template because it'll give you some space to write within. So I've already got it downloaded, but I'm just gonna show you step by step. So now the formatted template is downloaded to my computer, so I'm going to open it and show you what's in there. Any questions right now as you're watching? Okay.
Yeah. George, we have a comment.
Yeah, please.
Okay, so we wanted to tell you that we love the create and go. We just sent you a chat, but we love that. Like when you just said create and go. We got really excited. We're like, that just got us so fired up. So thank you for saying that. And we may create a meme with your face on it. So prepare yourself.
All right, I'm in. And thanks for the comment too. I think people just get caught up on insignificant things versus being in that creative flow and that momentum. And so, yeah, thank you. So it's still opening the document. And if you guys have a Mac, it'll convert it to Pages automatically. So no worries there. Bouncing. Let's see, anything else on here? You can hire one of their professional designers. Like if you have the financial resources to delegate all the stuff that you're not interested in doing, you can do that. They have people who, if you're looking for support, like you can contact their support and ask them any question that you want. And if you want to even work with one of their peeps one-on-one, you can do that too.
George, I have a question.
Yes.
As far as downloading a Word template, that's what you're waiting on now, right? Download?
Correct.
So if I already have Word, the latest version of Word on my computer, and I already have a lot of Word documents that I'm compiling and editing into my book, does it matter? Where does this Word template end up? Do I open my Word online without being connected to CreateSpace and get that template, or is this something different?
I think I understand your question, so I'll move forward in answering it. When you go to CreateSpace and you click download a formatted template, can you see where my finger is right now? Mm-hmm. That's going to download to your computer, and it's simply a Word document they've created that's a template, and it looks exactly like this. So it already has all this stuff on here. So remember I said ISBN number, I'd copy and paste. This is where you would put it.
So you're saying I don't need to be connected to CreateSpace to write. I'm not actually writing my book in CreateSpace.
No, you're not. You're writing it on a Word document or a Pages document.
Okay, so, but does a person have to have Word? I mean, I do obviously, but does a person have to have Word in order to use CreateSpace then?
They have to have some sort of writing document that they can turn into a PDF.
Okay.
Yeah, so whether that's Pages or Microsoft Word, yeah, you do have to have some program that you're using, because eventually that document will be turned into a PDF, which will be uploaded into the CreateSpace system.
Okay. So basically when I'm writing from now on, I'll be writing and pasting my old stuff into this new Word template that I would download from here.
Yes, if you wanted to use the template as the document, the official document you're going to use to upload.
Okay, otherwise I could write my entire book in Word in whatever format I want, and then copy and paste it into a new doc with this template when I'm finished.
Essentially, you could do that, yeah.
But this will give me an idea of how it's going to look, because it'll give it to me in a 6x9 page format.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, thank you.
And still, good questions. Thank you, Patricia. And still within all this, it's all changeable. Like, they have a little dedication. This is dedicated to all the pretty girls in the world, or whatever your dedication is going to be. And then if you go down here, you can see it's already got your content. Well, isn't that a song that I pulled out from somewhere? That's a song.
It's so, George, we freaking love you.
And so you can see the contents of your book. It already has that laid out for you right here. So you would just plug in your chapter and the page number here, or the chapter name and the page number here. So it's nice because it gives you somewhat of a template to start working with instead of just a blank document. So you would just put your book title here, your name here. You can keep that there or not keep it there. It's up to you. It holds down here. You can see it holds the page number.
You're apparently seeing something I'm not seeing, because I'm still looking at just your thing where it says trim size 6x9.
Okay, thanks for saying that. Let me see here. Screen share. Okay, here. How about now? Is that better?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, yeah, you're welcome. Thanks for saying that. So this is the download, the formatted template, and all it is a Word document that CreateSpace created that says, hey, here's a little bit of a framework that you could use to write your book. So you can write your book title here, your author name here, if you'd like. Down here, this is where I did copy and paste the ISBN number. So there's no correct place to put anything. Please understand that, guys. There's no correct place to put anything. So it's just a matter of where do you want to put it. This is your creation. This is your book. And there are no rules to this. And I mean, I think that's where people get caught up. They think that there is a correct way to do all of this. And there's not. There are ways that most people do it, but that doesn't mean it's the correct way. It's just the way that most people do it. And so you got to figure out what you want in your book. So here's the dedication piece that I was talking about. If you want this to be, I dedicate this to my parents or whoever you want to dedicate it to, you can write a dedication piece there, scroll down, and then this is where the contents are. So you will probably want one of these in your book just to let the reader know what chapter and what page they want to skip to if they would like to. So all you would do in this template is simply write the chapter name, chapter page, and obviously you're not gonna know the chapter page until you get it all complete and written. So some of this will be blank for a while. And then you scroll down, and if you want to write some acknowledgments, you can do that here. And we'll talk about strategy stuff later. The idea here is just to give you a visual overview of CreateSpace and how simple it is. And then chapter 1, if this is how you wanted to do it, chapter 1, you could write it there. Let me open up something real quick. So any questions? Any other questions?
So George, I thought I noticed on the previous screen, it said something about, I thought it said download your book or something. Did it say that?
Let me see what you're talking about here. So this is basically, I took that template that you guys are seeing, that you guys just saw, and I made some additions and turned it into this. So it's very similar, as you can see. And I just, added what I want. This is dedicated to you, and wrote a little dedication. So this maximum performance and productivity is under the file section of our Facebook group. All three of my books are, so that you can get some ideas of maybe how you might want to do it. This book is a marketing book. The first page, one of the first pages says the ideal professional speaker for your next event. So I send my book, I mail it out for free to people who are considering hiring me. And so, it's a marketing book. And then I've got table of contents, very simple process here, as we saw. I got an introduction. And so that's it. So feel free to use any of my books as a template as well, because, chapter 1 is a little bit different. So you can see my chapter 1, I just made it like that versus what they show you in the CreateSpace account, which is chapter 1 like this. So again, no right way, no wrong way. You can hire a book designer to design your interior any way that you want. You just got to figure out what's going to work, what's best for you, what's going to work for you. All right. Any questions? And then after every chapter title, I always loved reading books that had a quote at the beginning of every chapter. So I said, I'm going to do that too. I just really liked that, having those quotes there. And then I added some images, as you can see here. That's a picture of my desk ideally on most days. Doesn't always stay like that. But ideally, I'm a little OCD and I like shit clean on my desk. Otherwise I get freaked out. So yep, that's it, guys. So just wanted to show you that piece. And let's go back to CreateSpace.
Now, George, are you inserting pictures and so on as you write and create, and your quotes and so on, or do you just kind of do that after the fact?
A little bit of both. Like if I get the sense that I want to put a picture right there, I'll just put a picture right there and keep writing. Or if I go back and reread it when I'm done and say, okay, I'd like to put a picture here, I'll just make space and put a picture in there.
And do you typically use this template when you're writing? Do you write within the template?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't want to create a bunch of extra work for myself. I don't want to write in another document and have to copy and paste it and worry about, misaligned formatting. I don't want to write in a journal for fucking 3 or 4 months and then have to rewrite it on a computer. I just don't want to create any additional work for myself. So I use the template that I'm going to turn into a PDF that I'm going to upload into the system.
Okay, so that was, I guess you were going back because I had asked the question about upload your book files. So basically now I've used this Word template, or you've used this Word template to create your book using Word, and you're ready and you convert it to PDF, and then I'm assuming you just go to this upload your book file and upload the PDF file.
Yeah, that's it. But
it looks like you can also upload a .doc, which is Word document.
Let's see here. So when you're done writing your book, yeah, you can. You don't have to turn it into a PDF. For some reason, I always have, but you're right, Patricia. You don't have to. You can just upload the document directly into it.
Well, are you using a Mac?
I am using a Mac.
That's probably why you do that.
Okay. So as a nice catch. And so as you can see, you can upload it any way that works. So you just got to figure out what works for you. And the minute you upload it, it's going to send you to the next page. So I'm not going to upload anything, obviously, because this is a test, but you would just browse the files on your computer, and then it would take you to the next checkbox. It's fine. And say, do I want glossy or do I want matte? And again, don't mind fuck yourself over all this. I just always choose glossy because I like shiny stuff. And so number 2 here is build your cover online, professional book cover designer. We have part of our team is we have a book cover designer that most of our authors have used. Her name is Stephanie Hun Ingram, and she is an intuitive designer. So she'll get a feel and the energy of your book, and then she'll create the cover based on based on the energy of her interaction with you. So she's really good, and she's designed, I think, she's definitely designed my third one, which is my favorite book cover. But the first and second, I actually went through somebody else, but I wish I would have went through her. Okay, so because Stephanie knows the exact dimensions of the book, where to put the ISBN, where to put the barcodes. So she will create a upload ready file for you to do. And she's extremely affordable. I mean, we're talking less than a couple $100 to design it. So extremely affordable and very, very good. So once you have you'll hit save. I'm not going to hit save because I don't have anything there. And then you'll go to complete the setup. And so this is it. It'll give you a rundown of everything, and then that's it. And so once you upload the interior, because I didn't, it's not giving me a review option. As soon as I upload my interior, I upload the cover, and I complete the setup, it's going to ask me to review a proof of my book, and that's when you can get a copy ordered to you. And then once you review it physically and you go back into this program and you confirm that if you make any changes, then you got to re-upload the document. But if you don't make any changes and you're good with it, then you hit publish, and within a day, you'll be up on Amazon ready to go. So that's it, guys. I mean, I hope it debunked any complexity that you may have had in your mind about this process, because it's really simple, as you can see. So any final questions about this process of using CreateSpace before we wrap up here? About 5 minutes left or so. Any comments? Like, are some of you thinking, holy shit, this is way easier than I made it out to be?
Yes, definitely.
Cool.
Yeah. I think like one of the biggest challenges I run into is just overthinking things. Mm-hmm. So thank you for giving us permission to just create.
Heck yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, I like this, George. I mean, I overthink stuff too. I agree. And I feel the same way, that I've overwhelmed myself. And I've had friends who've published multiple books. And they're like, oh, just use CreateSpace. It's so easy. And for some reason, I needed to be taken through this. Not that I'm technically inept, but I have a short attention span. And thank you for making it simple. Mm-hmm. And now this takes out another piece that I can't use as an excuse. You're knocking down my excuses one by one here.
Awesome. Thank you for being willing. Yeah, I mean, that's it, guys. Technology has evolved in such a beautiful way that it's made our lives easier in some of the things that we want to do. And this is one of those ways. So your work, guys, really is consistent writing and getting your first, like your target right now should be getting your first draft done no matter how shitty it turns out. Because you can edit shit, but you can't edit nothing.
We're also going to create a meme for that one, George.
I was just thinking that. So you can edit shit, but you can't edit nothing. And don't worry about, like, you don't want your first draft to be perfect. If you find yourself caught up in perfection, you're just not letting yourself be free enough to make writing mistakes. Allow yourself to misspell words, allow yourself to I mean, to this day, like if you're on my newsletter, there seems to always be a misspelling, or there seems to always be a double word in there or something, but I just don't care. Like, I don't care. And part of that is I want people to see that, hey, I'm human. I'm not over here trying to be perfect in my business. I'm just trying to create, make a difference, and make a dick ton of money.
I have a question and a comment. I have this tendency to, I'm a freak about stuff because I have a natural editor inside of me that always sees everything in a book that's not right. It jumps off the page, drives me nuts. Mm-hmm. So I have this tendency to pay attention to word on grammatic suggestions or misspellings, of course. There's a lot of autocorrect, so there's not that much you have to really worry about in that arena. But I just saw something recently pop up called Grammarly. Have you heard of this thing?
I haven't.
Some kind of an app that's free. And I was trying to figure out I just was curious if you'd heard of it, knew anybody who used it, and if it was worth anything. And what it really did for you,
Yeah, sorry, I've never heard of it.
Okay.
But I love that you said this because it may work for you to edit while you write. The rule of thumb is don't, because that's when you start to audit yourself, judge yourself, compare your stuff, judge your stuff, and that will limit you more than anything. So that's why I always say, just get your first draft done, unless you can handle self-judgment, unless you can handle, trying to get everything right. If editing along the way a little bit or a lot works for you, and you're continuing to move through the process, then do that. There's no right or wrong formula here. It's just about finding your flavor and your style of what works for you.
I have had many authors tell me over the years, just throw up on the page.
Yeah.
Just get it out.
That's
And
it.
I totally agree. That is a downfall of mine when I was writing the column, was to go back and read the paragraph and go, oh, I don't like that. And then the next thing I know, I spent 5 hours on something I probably could have knocked out in an hour and edited in 1 more hour.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. I've learned that lesson the hard way, and I appreciate your saying that.
Of course. All right, guys. Well, that's going to wrap it up for us. If you have any other questions, feel free to just share it on the Facebook page. And this recording will come out to you soon. So if the next step, if you don't have a CreateSpace account, go create one now. All right. Thanks, guys, for a great call, and keep writing. Just a paragraph a day is your target. Take good care, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye, George.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.